Welcome. This is Maria Marsala, host of the Count on Success Summit for RIAs and top advisors and advisors who are aspiring to be. Today I want to personally thank you for taking time out of your busy day to learn about today's practice management subject, which I'm actually going to be teaching. Just remember that listening to a presentation is never the best use of your time. Most of you I know are working somewhere between 40, 60, 70 hours a week. So it's important to watch your time. So I know this topic is really important. Take notes and plan to take some action. Or take notes and have your team members take new action towards building the firm that you always dreamed you'd have. Today's topic is how to market smarter. Choose the niche so that you end up with clients you love working with and vice versa. Our agenda, I'm going to talk about common mistakes. I'm going to talk about 4 niches you don't want to choose. I'm going to talk about 3 specific steps to help you identify your niche, and then I'm going to also have a little bonus area for you. And here's a little bit about my background. I had 17 years of experience on Wall Street, starting off as a clerk and pretty much going up the ladder. By the time I was 21, I was trading municipal bonds and eventually traded government bonds. But even though I was doing that, there was always something about operations that I liked the most. And I did what most would call a backwards move. I just called it being happy. And I became a special projects manager, actually the first internal consultant at Bear Stearns. And I went from department to department wherever there was possible money being wasted or expenses that were too high, and my job was just to fix whatever needed fixing. So I learned quite a bit and worked with quite a few different departments. In fact, I worked with just about every department within a firm, and I've also worked in nonprofit. Today, my business just turned 17. It's interesting, another 17. I've been a business coach. I originally started out coaching service businesses, and about 7 years ago or 6 years ago, I went back to what I love the most, really, which is the finance. And so now I work with financial advisors, and I also speak at conferences, and I've written, 7 books, and only God knows how many articles I've written, many of which are on my website, Marketing with Integrity. In fact, there's a whole section there just on niching and ideal clients. So Edward Dennings was sent to Japan after the bombing of Hiroshima. We sent him there to help build the economy. And this is one of his many quotes. And the reason I like this is mainly the section that says, that if your company has some challenges, 94% of those challenges come from the system. So fix the systems and you fix the business. And sometimes, fix may be a harsh word, improve, tweak, whatever you want. But, a lot of time we take too much responsibility for the company not working exactly the way we want it to work. And meanwhile, we may be missing systems that are important for the firm to grow. Here's a great acronym for systems, because this is exactly, if I describe what a system did, this is exactly it. They will save you stress, time, energy, money, and help you succeed. And I will say that before they save you stress, time, money, and help you succeed, they are going to take time to put into practice. And that's the truth. If a business plan may take you 20 hours to get through the first time you do it, the good news is that the second time you do it, it may only take you 3 or 4 hours. So there's a really long learning curve the first time you do something, especially when you're building or rebuilding the foundation of your firm. And that's just a picture of the system that I use basically to help my clients grow their firms. Important, if during this conversation that I'm having with you, you start feeling uncomfortable or fidgety, that's A-okay. Just feel whatever you're going to feel, because a lot of what I'm going to tell you goes against unnatural instincts. Work with fewer clients, you'll make more money. It kind of doesn't sound right, but it works. And it's worked for many, many, many companies. Do less marketing. One of the mistakes a lot of my clients make before they hire me is that they're marketing too much. They are spreading their marketing dollars very thin instead of being consistent. So again, less is more. And that theme follows a lot of the foundation pieces on marketing smarter and growing a firm. The other thing that's kind of against on natural instincts, is that we want to help everyone. But in business, you need to resist the desire to serve everyone, even though you can do it. Take care of your clients the best you can and take care of yourself in the process. So I want to start this conversation off by kind of going through, what I feel the difference is between a niche and an ideal client, because you'll see those concepts thrown around a lot. So I look at a niche as a general category. I look at an ideal client profile as very specific criteria within that niche. And you'll see a little bit more about how I go about helping my clients to put those two pieces together. So what is a niche? So the general category here would be steakhouses. Sizzler's in the western United States. Smith & Wollesky is in New York. Outback is a franchise. Steak and Shake also has burgers. In general, they are all steakhouses. But each one of these, we can get really specific on the type of person who would go to them, or the type of money the person has who would go to them. Definitely, I've been in Smith & Wollesky's a couple of times. It's not cheap. Outback is probably mid-range in this group here, and Sizzler's is probably the cheapest meal that you'll have. But they're all known for different things. I would not necessarily walk into Smith & Wollesky's, with flip-flops on. I have no problem walking into Sizzler's that way. So there's a difference kind of between the niche would be the general, and the ideal client is getting a lot more specific. And each of these companies target and have their own ideal clients. Here's another thing about niches. If you had a heart problem would you want to go to a GP or a family doctor, or would you want a cardiologist to help you? You know, the more specific you get, the better. And I've got a really good family doctor, so it's not a question of not wanting to have one of them. But your clients want to go to someone who specifically knows their pain and their problems. So why niche? I've got 13 important reasons. I'll go through them really quick. Your clients are meeting you, or your prospects are meeting you, and they don't know you from a hole in the wall. But what they want as a human being is, and what are they thinking about, is the whole concept of, you know, what's in it for me? And we'll call that what's in it for me FM. That's the thing that's the strongest in their mind. How are you going to help them? If you help anybody, you're not making them feel important. Niching helps you connect with people on a much deeper level, and it helps you to build really close relationships and connections with people. You know, a lot of my previous clients, you know, they'll come back every once in a while for assistance, but we've become friends over time. So you want to have that connection with people. You want to stop hunting for clients and become the obvious choice. You want to give somebody a reason to choose you over somebody else. You niche in an area that the client needs, the other person doesn't, you know, who wins? The client. You want to be different than the other advisors that might be local to you or even on the internet. Instead of, you know, I mean, I bet you've all gone to a meeting, networking meeting, where, you know, maybe somebody in real estate is all, you know, saying the same thing. We help anybody who does blah, blah, blah. You know, advisors do the same thing. So you want to be different. You want to increase your credibility. You know, you become an expert in a particular area, and that shows in all the work that you do. You'll enjoy your business more because you're doing more things that you enjoy doing. You'll make more money. You'll have more success at networking events. Real important, happy clients give more qualified referrals. You know, they'll talk about you more when they're happy. It's much easier to create strategic alliances when you find someone in your area who works with the exact same client as you do, and you'll have stronger strategic alliances. And last but not least, you'll simplify your business, advise more, and live better because you'll have more time to spend with your family, friends, and in the community. So a few interesting stats about niching, and these are from a Horse's Mouth Prospecting Survey. So more than 1 in 2 niche advisors say their niche clients were between 51 and 100% more profitable than their clients who were outside their niche. At the $1 million plus level, 62 more niche advisors cross that production level than generalists, you know, like the GP. And nearly 3 in 4 niched advisors said their prospecting was easier after adopting a niche strategy. And I happen to agree with all 3 of those, especially that last one. Many of my clients create their niche. They could do their ideal client. They do some of the stuff I'm going to talk about here. They create their business plan, and they tell me they feel like they could breathe more. And it's so much clearer when they speak, and it's amazing. Oops, go back one. So I spoke a little bit about less is more when you create a niche. There'll be less effort on your part because you'll be attracting more people. You'll have more clients who enjoy working with you, and you'll have more clients who become raving fans because they sense you love working with them. So here are the 3 P's of niching. All right, this is how I would start you off as niching with these 3 P's. We're going to look at them: passion, populations, products, and services. So let's look at the products and services first. You want to write a list of the products and services that you're providing clients. You want to look at that list and you want to see what are the things that really stand out on that list that you love doing, that you love helping your clients with. And I recommend that you turn, the different service levels that you provide into easy to remember names, with 2 to 3 words. And you'll see even the templates that I'm giving you have a maximum of 3 words in the title. Just things that are easy for you to remember, easy for your staff to remember, and easy for your clients to remember. The other reason for doing that is because when you do that, it kind of looks like you've got products, and if you're planning or you're advising or you're doing both, people understand products better. They understand if you give something a name, and you can actually show them how that particular thing works. So, you may have 3 services. You can combine them into one product and name your product. And a lot of people will create their niche based on their product or their products and services, and I really don't think that's enough. I think you need to look at all 3 areas I'm going to show you here. I think it's a really good start, but it's not enough. So you want to create it also based on passions. And there's 3 people to consider in here. You want to base it on your passion. If your significant other is involved in your business, attends parties, etc., add them to the mix. And most importantly, you want to create them based on your ideal client's passions. Now, how do you find out what your client's passions are? Well, you start adding that question to your onboarding process. You start asking more personal questions. Not just what team is your son on, that kind of thing is really good too, but really find out what they like. So for example, I found out that a lot of my clients really do like eating well, whether it's going out to really good restaurants, or they like cooking, or they've got a spouse who's a really good cook, and they like to, so what I do with that is, I like to do that too. It's great that we have that in common. I'll send my clients recipes. Sometimes they're recipes I make up. Sometimes they're recipes from my family. That's important. I've heard of an advisor who also has that in common with his clients, and he'll actually have small, intimate parties where he brings in a cook and everybody helps to cook the meal, and each of his client couples is asked to bring one of their best friends to the event, and you've got a nice, intimate, getting to know you experience that can bring you more clients as time goes on. But that meeting is that event is not for discussion of business. It's to talk about the thing you have in common. So whatever that thing in common is, it could be wines, it could be sports. Find out what your ideals have in common with you. In fact, at networking events, I always ask a question about, what are you passionate about? What do you enjoy doing? And let the person talk and see if there's something in the conversation that I can truly connect with that person on. Because business is about relationships and it's about connections. So where do you look for these passions? Could be hobbies that you have in common. Could be stuff on your resume, their resume, knowledge you have, the type of books that they read. I ask that question to my clients. What are your 3 favorite books that you've read in the last 3 years? What's your favorite color? All those kind of questions, what's important to your clients, put in your onboarding process. Good question is to ask them what did they want to be when they were between the ages of 7 and 14. That usually brings up a really nice conversation, or what courses have they attended in your area. And the third piece is to look at the population. Now, the population I don't want you to look at are these 4. Generation X, Y, Z, and baby boomers. And I just felt the hairs rise on your arms. Why do I say that for? You need to learn from the advisors who have been marketing, and their major marketing is baby boomers. That's the phrase they use all the time. They don't change it because I can tell you what's happening. They are calling me because they are losing clients left and right because the clients are dying. Some big clients are being lost, unfortunately. And the other unfortunate part is that because they've been marketing to baby boomers, they haven't developed any other area to market to. And so they can't just turn around and start marketing to 20-year-olds the next week. It just would go against all their marketing materials and everything else they have. So instead of baby boomers, retirees, right? They would probably be baby boomers. Come up with other words for some of the younger generations. Busy new executives, executive moms, couple with small children, parents. So there are other ways to market by age without necessarily using these terms. And I don't know about you, but I know a lot of baby boomers, including myself, who do not even like that term. So figure out a different way to identify the people you want to market to without necessarily calling them by whatever words have come up for what their names, their ages are. In fact, you put the Generation X on the top of the page and write down a list of what their pain points are, who they may be, and come up with a different way of describing the kind of person you work with when you are at networking events, for example. So what you want to do is you want to take your passion, the population that you came up with and the products and services, and make sure that they kind of gel. In fact, they just can't kind of gel. They need to gel. And that middle point where they all intersect is where I would recommend that you start marketing to. That is your sweet spot. And you don't have to be marketing to people who are your same age if that's not where your sweet spot is. Sometimes you may end up marketing to people who were just like you or who just went through situations that you just went through. You may market to people who are ahead of where you're at. But you probably will share some passions with those people, because that's what's going to help to keep your relationship going is a lot of those passions. So I'm going to move into qualities of an ideal client. An ideal client values your services, doesn't haggle with you about money and what things are going to cost. They trust that you're going to handle their needs. You and they both enjoy working together. You can easily find them. And although you will ask them for referrals at appropriate times, they'll automatically refer other people to you because they're bragging about you. They're sending your newsletter to other people. They're telling people about an event you held. They're telling people about how you helped them. Business is much easier when you work with people whose values and passions are similar to yours. So here are the 7 steps to an ideal client profile. I'm not going to read through this list here because I'm going to go through each of them one by one with you. So the first one is you want to assess your current clients. So how do you do that? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go off of here. I'm going to get out of the screen. Okay. And I am going to show you the target marketing assessment. So this is one of the assessments you have access to. Okay, and all it is rating. It's a 25 questions. This 25 questions here that you rate from 1 to 5. In fact, you only have 3 things: 1, 3, and 5. That could be your answers. And you can give this assessment to your staff members too to take, so you don't have to do it just by yourself. But it'll help you to figure out if you are indeed targeting your marketing. Are you working with the right clients? Okay, this will help you with that. So I'm going to go back on the PowerPoint presentation and go back to the right page here. Okay. So that's number 1. So I've given you the information on exactly how to do that. Okay. Number 2, and this is 2A. If you get a piece of paper, you put a line down the middle. On one side, you start writing down the list of attributes of your clients from hell. Now, I know you will have them. You know, the people who don't take advice. They're very controlling. They don't want to listen. They don't want to pay you on time. You got to run after them to have your meetings with them. They're the kind of people that when they call, you cringe. You really don't want to pick up their phone calls. Most people have a list of between 25 and 40 items. And if you can't come up with a list that long, ask your staff. What are the things that they don't like? And the second part of this exercise is to turn it around. So if somebody doesn't listen, the turnaround is they desire a trusted advisor to manage, in this case, I'm managing business projects. If they're controlling or micromanages, they may desire to outsource work in order to focus on other priorities. But you'll have your own list of clients from hell. Then you turn each one of those around, you cut the paper in half, you go outside, you burn the clients from hell because you're not going to have any more of them. And you start using the turnaround section to help you develop who your ideal clients are. Barbecues work very good, so you can put it in the barbecue. But definitely get rid of it. That's part of the process, is to get rid of it. 2B is you want to visualize your ideal clients. Visualize meeting them at a networking event. Visualize them coming through your front door. Visualize you speaking with them on the phone, however your business operates. Nothing to write here. Just some really good daydreaming that you want to turn into your vision. C, describe your ideal clients. Yes, you want to look at the usual thing, the demographics and the geographics, but you also want to look at what are their pain points. What's causing them to hire an advisor of your caliber? Why do they need your help? What's going on in their lives? And very important, and this is an area, again, to bring up at the onboarding process, is the technographics. How technology savvy are they? How much technology do they want from you? And how much face-to-face do they want? And most advisors as well as coaches, have a mixture of things. I've got clients that I would email. I've got other clients that I put something in the mail to, because I know that's the way they want certain things. But I always ask. If you're not sure of any of these areas, you can do some research on the internet. When I work with clients, I give them a whole book so that they could answer. So there's a lot to putting this information together. But as I said before, once you do this the first time, the second time you do it, it's a charm. In fact, I tell my clients to put aside 1 week a year to just go over all this stuff. Now, one of the things that may happen, especially the first year that you put your niche and ideal client profile together, is that you may need to look at it much quicker than a whole year. You may need to have meetings with your staff, every other month. How is this working? And you'll see what I'm talking about as far as how is this working as I go through this. Do we need to make changes? Are there tweaks we need to do? Sometimes there are, sometimes they're not. But in the beginning, you may need to really tweak it a little bit as you go along. Is D. What do your ideal clients say? Do you ask them why they're hiring you? What made them choose you? What made them come into your office? What made them call you? Important questions that will help you to further focus on exactly who they are and what their problems are. Number 3, interview your ideal clients. You've got ideal clients. Ask them if you could meet with them for 20 minutes or so. I don't recommend this be a lunch kind of meeting or a meal meeting, more a coffee meeting. And whatever information you came up with on who your ideal clients are, ask them 5 questions about. Pick five things and ask them questions about themselves. It could be about their passions. It could be about them investment-wise. But come up with 5 questions to ask them that will help you hone in on who they are so that you in return can find more people like them and put yourself in front of more people like them. And if you're hesitant to do this, and I'm trying to think, I'm going to say 99.7% of my clients are hesitant to do this, just remember that as a human being, we like helping each other. And your client, the chances of them saying yes are very high because they want to help you, because they are your ideal clients. These are the people you really love being around, and they love being around you. So buy them a cup of coffee, bring them some donuts, and then a week later, take them out for lunch or dinner. 4, create your ideal client profile statement. Whatever you have learned, put it into a paragraph. Write it down. Pass it around the office. Put it on your website so that those clients can identify themselves and pre-qualify themselves on your website. You'll see that on my website. 5, now we get into segmentation. All right, and I'm going to show you another form that you have. This is the Ideal Client Segmentation Matrix. This is actually a 4-word template. But you want to look at different things. You want to name your clients, and coming from a trading background, I recommend AAA, AA, A, and B rated clients. But you can gold, silver, 1, 2, 3, 4, but give them some kind of a name that is used internally in your company. You want to look at the products and services you offer, including free services, because in some what look like free services, they're not going to pay for them as you're doing them, but you may want to offer different free services to AAA people than you do AA clients. AUM is important. Whatever level that AUM is, middle class to ultra, everyone has a different type of client that they want to work with and they enjoy working with. Money spent annually. This is the cost of doing business per client, your client acquisition cost. How much is it costing you to acquire that client? And the last column is your fees, your pricing. Let me go down a little bit on the page. One of the things you want to also consider when you're looking at something like this is, to take a look at other areas within your firm. So you've got your core team. How are you going to work with family members or friends that come in, whether they be your friends or client friends? There's a lot of other different areas once you get this down pat. The other area of segmenting is segmenting your service levels to those clients. So often when I work with a client, they are treating their AAA clients the same way they treat their B-rated clients. And if that's what you want to keep doing, that's up to you as the owner of the company. I do not recommend it. So one of the things I have them take a look at is how many times they're going to touch their clients in a year. And for example, your AAA clients, you want to touch 100 times, but your B-rated clients, you want to touch 14. And that 100 number, although it sounds gigantic, is really not gigantic. I mean, 12 times, if you send a newsletter out once a month, that's 12 times right there. You've got anniversaries and birthdays. You've got an article you mail them. You've got meetings that you have. Your staff calls them. You call them. You've got events that you hold at your firm. And, what you should do is actually come up with whatever your 100 is. I've given you some suggestions here. You may send them flowers. All those things are you touching your clients. And 14 times for B-rated clients, a newsletter, a birthday card, and a yearly review. And the AAA clients, maybe you do quarterly reviews, depending on what the client wants. So let me get back into the PowerPoint presentation here. Okay, and we kind of looked at the different levels. So you want eagerly engaged clients, and those are the people that you want to market to. You're going to have status quo clients just because. But over time, as you get more eagerly engaged clients, you're not going to want to work with the B and the A clients. And there is an opportunity to refer them out to another advisor who would be a much better match for them, because wishy-washy to you may be ideal to someone else. So you never know. Advisors all want different kind of clients. Same thing with coaches. Some people, want clients, whose hands they have to hold all the time. I want clients who want to take action today. I do hold hands from time to time, but your personality gets involved in your business. It's very hard to separate those two things. So make sure that you choose clients that go along with your own personality. Number 6 is go, no go. This is a culmination of all the work you've done to get to this point. It's on one page, just like the client segmentation is on one page. It's something that's going to be used by everyone who's producing in your firm, and it's something that everyone in the firm should know about. And this is actually a concept that I have stolen from the construction industry. I had mentioned I've worked with other business owners, and some of the business owners I've worked with have been in the construction industry. And so I learned about this process called go, no go. Now, in that industry, they're bidding on big deals. I'm not talking about just somebody doing a house. I'm talking about somebody building, a 25-story building or something, or building a bridge, or a tunnel, or whatever. It's a costly process for them to continually write proposals, because their proposals have to have a lot of engineering stuff. They've got to have photos. Things need to be described for, the mere mortals of people that might be reading this. So it's pretty common for a contracting proposal to be 25 pages would probably really be small. 50 to 75 pages. It's very usual for that proposal to cost between $25,000 and $30,000, and they're bidding on gigantic business that might come into them. So now so what they do is they create this go, no go. Are they going to create the proposal or not? And so they go through a process that's very similar to this. So I've taken their idea and I've kind of turned it around for advisors. So you take all the information you came up with and you create your own go, no-go form. This is my sample page that I just put some things on. And then you rate the prospect based on the qualities that you've ascertained are those qualities of your ideal clients. So if you look at number 7, pricing and fees are not the prospect's only deciding factor. You know that because you've come up with some kind of a question that leads you to believe that that's true or not true. Is the prospect involved in the community? The assets under management, are they in a range that your firm prefers? Did you have good rapport with the prospect? Or did you feel like you were pulling teeth? Okay. And this is this is just a sample of some things, and a lot of the items you're going to put in here are going to come from that client from hell process. Not all of them, but a lot of them are going to come from that exercise. So you want to have prospect factors, and then you want to have firm factors. Is this opportunity in line with the direction that your firm is going in? Are we comfortable with the prospect's understanding of their risk tolerance? Do they even know what the heck that means? Have we stated to the prospect what they can expect in regards to customer service? Do you understand the prospect's needs and feel confident that you can help them reach their goals? And this form I gave you will add all of these things for you. They'll add each of the sections for you. And then they will even give you a tally of everything. And this is a sample. This is just a sample. We just put numbers in here just to be able to make sure that everything added up right. But it gives you an idea if you're going to accept that client or not. You know, if they come out 0 to 54, well, it's definitely a no-go. And you can change these numbers based on, how you're going to do it at your firm. But I would say that you want more clients who are in the 80 to 100 range. And to figure out what you need to do and how you can help these clients that are lower than that without necessarily helping them. And a lot of times that means giving them referrals, sending them to a financial class. All my clients have book recommendations for different levels of people who can, walk through their doors. Doesn't mean that they're taking them all on as clients. Seven, and I call this the teal car effect. The more you know about your clients, the more you're going to automatically almost notice them. And this is actually a scientific process, reticular activating system. But everyone who's listening to me knows about this. For me, I bought a teal car. All of a sudden, I noticed other teal Camrys. You get your hair cut a certain way. All of a sudden, you start noticing other women with that haircut. Lots of things in life that this will happen in regards to. And it's scientific, and you can look it up on the internet, but there is a part of our brain that automatically filters out unimportant or irrelevant things and highlights important and significant things. And by creating an ideal client profile, you are definitely highlighting important and significant things. And number 6, okay, that should not be there. Monitor, evolve, and refine is number 7. You did all this work. It took you a while to do it the first time. You want to monitor your success. Could be the new questions on your onboarding process. See if they're working. You want to have the process evolve as you do. Few companies stay the same through the entire life of the firm. Things change. So you want to keep on top of that. And you want to refine what you already have. You may do the ideal client profile and come up with the go, no-go, and then realize as you're going along that there are better things to put on there. And so you put those things on there. You want to aim all your marketing, all your networking, your website, any articles you write, directly at your ideal clients. You want to hit that target. And that includes articles about the passions that you share with them. So don't leave the stuff that you've already learned about them out. Use that to decide what photos you're going to put on your website, things you're going to do with your blog. Excuse me. So what have we accomplished today? I spoke to you about mistakes financial advisors make as they're growing their firm in regards to who their clients are. I did tell you 4 niches you don't want to choose and why. Figure out different ways to market to that niche and use in your conversations with that niche. I gave you 3 specific steps to help you identify your niche, the passion, population, and products and services. And I walked you through 7 very important steps in determining your ideal client profile and who the clients you're going to be working with. The next step is up to you to act, because action does change things. To work smarter, update your niche. If you've got a niche, update your niche and your brand for your company. I can tell you from going to financial advisors' websites, your niche in most cases is not clear when you go to your website. And sometimes that's the way people are going to find you, or that's what they're going to be looking at when you give them your business card. Specify who your ideal client is. Every firm has one. And the third piece is to create a business and a marketing plan. And I like to create things on one page. Becomes simple that way. So my final thoughts are to stand out from the crowd, to build a bigger book of business, take systems and consistency of your marketing efforts. With marketing, doing less will bring you more. Casting a wider net catches fish, not ideal clients. Now, don't forget, email me and tell me what you found valuable about this program. You can let me know what actions you're going to take this week towards working smarter, or send me any other comments that you'd like. Here's my information. My website is Elevating Your Business, and so the email for this will be COSS, which is for Count on Success Summit, at elevatingyourbusiness.com. I want to thank you for attending the Count on Success Summit. We've got quite a few days left for you to enjoy. To download today's free gift, which are those different templates I showed you, I have them all downloadable on the website. Look in your inbox. There's a link that will get you right to them. If someone has shared this presentation with you and you have not yet joined us, you're in for a lot of really good treats. I've heard all the sessions, so lots of good stuff to learn. You can go to countonsuccess.com. We definitely want you to share this event with other people and send them to the countonsuccess.com website. Invite your team members and colleagues to listen to today's presentation. It's beyond the system for 24 hours. And when you let other people know about the event, send them to countonsuccess.com. And if you're going to tweet about us, add the hashtag COSS2016. That's COSS 2016. And most importantly, take a look at the notes that you've taken and commit to taking one step big or small, to use what you've learned to grow your firm. Thank you again.